Welcome to Discover DeSoto, a podcast brought to you by the Patterson Foundation. In this podcast, you'll hear stories from all corners of DeSoto County through the lens of DeSoto County Ahead, from residents to community leaders and everyone in between. Join us as we discover DeSoto, one story at a time. Hi, and welcome to Discover DeSoto, a Beyond the Blog podcast brought to you by the Patterson Foundation. I'm Alicia Exantus, Community Engagement Specialist with the Patterson Foundation and your host today. Joining me is Sherry Oehler, also a Community Engagement Specialist with the Patterson Foundation. Although she is a Manatee County resident and does not live in DeSoto County, she's here today to help us dive into a special assignment she has been a part of with the DeSoto County Ahead's DeSoto Digest Newsletter team. Sherry, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, thank you, Alicia. I'm so happy to be here.
We are so happy to have you here. It is an absolute pleasure to be sitting at this table with you. I can't wait to hear all of your stories and the adventures you've been on. Sherry, I've had the pleasure of working with you on the Patterson Foundation's monthly DeSoto Digest, where we're connecting communities, sharing stories. All of that is a part of that newsletter. This newsletter aims to showcase the work of TPF initiatives and highlight ways residents can get involved in community building activities. I would like to know from you, what is special or even different about this newsletter in DeSoto County?
First, I would say one of the big special things of this newsletter is DeSoto County does not have a daily newspaper anymore. And this is an opportunity for the Patterson Foundation, DeSoto County, and Arcadia to spotlight and inform their residents about what's going on in the community.
Wonderful. Something else I noticed about something else that I know about the newsletter is it's not printed in only English.
Correct. We have a Spanish version, as much of the population or many of the population in DeSoto is Hispanic or Latino. We're able to communicate that with them fully by offering a Spanish edition.
Perfect. Sherry, I know you're a part of the DeSoto Digest team, but you play a very valuable part because you have what I've heard you refer to as your paper route.
That's right.
Okay, tell me more. You don't hear that term today. Tell me about your paper route.
Well, this is what I affectionately call my days of distributing the monthly newsletter in Arcadia and DeSoto County. And I'm going to start back, maybe it's been 18 months or so that we started this newsletter for the county. And so I was unknown, but what I found is when I wore my TPF name tag, I was immediately welcomed into these various organizations. And so I saw the real value of the name tag. Mm-hmm. Then as I have continued to meet and greet and talk with all of these various organizations, their people, we've kind of become family and friends now. And often I feel like I have many community conversations every time I drop the newsletter off. They just see my face, typically stop what they're doing and want to sit down and chat about themselves, about what they're doing in the community and their organizations are doing, how they're connecting, and bringing good aspirations to their community.
Oh, wonderful. I have seen you after you've done your paper route and you're glowing. You have the stories, you bring things to the newsletter team that you now want to share, that you think should be published. I love hearing your stories. I love hearing about people in the community that might be not always, the people on the stage with a microphone, but in that community, they are leaders. I want to bring up change happens at the speed of trust.
Indeed.
This newsletter came after our first event, or maybe it was during that first event, but it came around that time. So community conversations had already started. People in the community were already recognizing the Patterson Foundation, things that were being done. And I really like that you pointed out that name tag with that name already had trust linked to it. I hear you. You do a paper route, you meet awesome people, you hear awesome stories, but what does a day look like? So do you have like you always stop somewhere first? Any details you got?
I usually go on about the third Friday of every month. And I have learned who I need to go to first because of their hours on Friday and availability. Usually, frankly, my first stop is the food bank because they are only open usually until noon on Fridays, and they're one of our largest newsletter distributors.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I leave about 150 English copies and 75 Spanish copies there.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And Monica is always great about making sure that everyone gets a copy. And from there, I've gotten to know Arcadia so well that I used to kind of do a paper route, and now I just jump here and there, depending on who might be available, if I text them or what I know about what's happening in the community on that given day. And in fact, now I have 22 distribution points.
Wow. That
it's actually becoming difficult for me to get it all done in one day.
Oh.
A lot because people want to talk, and I'm going to listen.
That is great to hear. When I asked you the question, in my head, I thought you would stop at like a coffee shop first so you could have a nice coffee to start your route. You're starting focused on who's open and when they can have a conversation with you, talk with you. That's next level. Sherry, that's amazing. That's next level.
However, there is the great farmhouse coffee shop there. Mm-hmm. And I have been known once that I get my first initial distributions done to stop there and have a great coffee, because that's one of the places that I leave a few copies for the owners there. They're very involved in the community and downtown historic Arcadia.
Oh, wow. So you know a lot of people. I hear you. You've already name dropped a couple people, one specifically at All Faiths. I want you to keep doing that. I know that you are a Harwood catalytic guide, and a part of that course that you took, which was very intense, one of the things we talked about in that course was making the invisible visible. We had a big piece about how, like I said, there's people that might not want to be on the stages or behind the microphones, but they're the big leaders in the town. So I want you to keep doing that here. Anytime you think of a stop and there's someone there specifically that you'd like to point out or name because of the work they're doing in the community, you keep giving us those Easter eggs. Drop those names and let us know who it is and why they're important. I would love that throughout this talk we have here.
Excellent. The first person I think of is Clara Alvarez at Casa San Juan Bosco, who also has just completed our guide program through the Harwood Institute. She is a quiet leader in her community and her church. I think she's a humble person who doesn't speak a lot about all that she can accomplish and connect among the people of her community. On that also would be Jessica at Goodwill, also a multi-tasked person beyond Goodwill in things that she does privately for the community. She's always trying to be engaged, always welcoming to me and offering the facility for TPF to use for various kinds of functions or meetings that we would like there. I just stopped at El Charro and met Evadine again, who's the owner. Delightful woman. They have opening a new room on the side of their restaurant that would be available also for meetings and events, and is interested in offering some food for a community event going forward. Then there's Diana at Senior Friendship Center, who is so involved with the older population there and the high need, because many of them are raising their grandchildren and need special assistance just to accomplish all the things that entails. Then we have made a new connection, just a new distribution point, and I very casually met him and talked with him from a distance at the door. I think he's not seen me before, and of course we're building that trust that what I'm leaving is good information for him and his community. Then we have Rosé Cafe, and that's just a community center, and they are very welcoming. The newsletters fly out of that location. Just around the corner is Three Trees Brewery, which is a very fun place. And actually, they offer so many community events for all ages. It's just a very welcoming place to be. Of course, over at the McSwain House is Team Arcadia, and every Friday they have a farmer's market. And I leave newsletters there, and of course they get passed out to whoever comes to do their shopping that Friday. And they're so well connected in the community and want it to thrive. Gosh, then we have Juana at the Smith Brown School, and she has a school for lovely little children that have some financial needs.
The evolution of your paper route, I wish the viewers truly understand where you started and where you are now. Not just naming people, you're telling me about them, what they're doing in the community. It is fascinating. It is beautiful. I really enjoy hearing more about the people in the community that are, making a difference.
Let me tell you one more stop.
Okay.
So I leave newsletters at the First Baptist Church. And so I believe that someone from that church emailed the Patterson Foundation, and Kiera sent it on to me. And this is Joy, and it's actually Daryl's Towing, although they do more mechanical work on vehicles than towing. But she saw the newsletter at her church and wanted to have it at her place of business. So that's a new place. Delightful, wonderful community people as well. Oh, the library. I can hardly not say what a community center Linda and Liz are at the library. And always available for TPF events. They have our newsletters. The DeSoto Report is available there. Plus, they're just great community advocates.
You are so good. You really love and care about the people that you're running into.
It's so much fun to go there. I shouldn't admit that.
No, you should love it. That's working community. You should love it. That's great to hear. Now, I want to go ahead and drop a couple numbers because you did say you walk into All Faiths Food Bank and you have multiple copies. Now, I can see here that the DeSoto Digest prints over 700 copies each month. So you've described how your paper route has evolved a little bit, but I want to talk about your recent blog. Your recent blog was titled, My Paper Route in Arcadia and DeSoto County. And you shared that a year ago, TPF newsletters were greeted with a wondering look, but now they are greeted with excitement and open arms because they're filled with knowledge, resources, announcements, community features, and guest articles from residents. That reminds me of something we often talk about here at TPF, that change happens with the speed of trust. With that in mind, what do you think has led to the shift in how people perceive the DeSoto Digest?
A valuable part of the DeSoto Digest is it shows up every month, just like we do. We show up.
They can count on it.
Yes, that builds the trust. And as we have gotten to know more people and be able to include them in the newsletter, some of the first things people say are, is my picture in it this month?
Oh.
Yeah, really, it's important. And it is a point of information for many people. And I'm hoping that we can continue to broaden the outreach of this newsletter so that more and more people see it.
Okay, you're going to have to add a couple days.
It might be.
If someone wanted to go ahead and get added to the distribution list, can you let us know your email for them to reach out to you?
Certainly. Let me spell it for you.
Perfect.
It is SOEHLER, T like Tom, P like Patterson, F like Foundation, @gmail.com.
Wonderful. Sherry, as we start to wrap up here, I do want to end by focusing on one of TPF's values. We believe meaningful change requires commitment and persistence and encourage this by undertaking philanthropic work in ways others are not doing, cannot do, or will not do. How do you see the DeSoto Digest, which is just a small part of that large DeSoto County Ahead work, and your paper route as a demonstration of how TPF works in ways people do not do, can't do, or won't do?
I think they could do, but may not have the resources, both financially and people-wise, to put together such a quality publication.
You know, TPF's all about like really connecting and really making those relationships. That's the difference I hear here. It's not just hitting send all. You know what I mean? Yes. We get those emails that come through that, you know, everyone got the newsletter. You are hand delivering. I can't believe it.
Here's something, I guess, and this may be a little more generational. I still like paper. Mm-hmm. I still like to touch it, turn it, go back and read it again. And while we can probably have a wider reach with the electronic version, which is fantastic, also available Spanish and English, I think it's the face-to-face, the handing it, the fun I get as people, again, leaf through it to see if they're included this month in the publication. The comments, I will say, are always very positive about the quality of the paper and the photographs. Things are clear and very well done. There's easy ways to get more information with the QR codes or the links. The QR code's especially important in the paper edition, while the e-edition you can click through easier. But as we also know in DeSoto County, digital access for all is somewhat limited. And internet access, equipment, all those kinds of things are not available to everyone. Yes, the library has that capability of offering it, but often people can't get there just for that sort of access.
So by you having your paper out, you are showcasing the importance of reaching out to others who might not have that accessibility.
Exactly. This is a community connection, conversation, and information always in a beautiful newsletter.
And just so everyone knows, you are not just the person that does the paper route. You write articles, you reach out to others about writing blogs or getting stories in there. So if anyone listening wants to be a part of the newsletter, they'd love to see their photo showcased, please reach out. Sherry, as well as my information, will be there with the blog, and we would love to showcase you on our DeSoto Digest.
Absolutely. And can I add this, Miss Alicia?
Tell me.
In my last paper route, every stop I asked, would you be interested in doing a podcast about Arcadia, your organization? And everyone said yes.
Oh, they're in trouble. You name dropped. You've told me some of your organizations. We did have Carissa Russa with All Face Food Bank. We really learned about her resources, how they're connecting and collaborating with other organizations. That was a wonderful one, but I will be sure to reach out with you for specific names, specific organizations, so we can go ahead and get them on this platform as well.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Before we wrap up today, I have to ask you, since this is Discover DeSoto, what's one thing you'd highlight about DeSoto County? Whether it's a hidden gem, a favorite place to shop, a local dining spot, or a unique outdoor activity, what's something everyone should make sure to discover in DeSoto?
Here is something that happened last month.
Okay, tell me.
Every month at Three Trees Brewery, where we also drop our newsletter, they have a bingo night on Tuesday night. Starts at 6 o'clock. And a community sponsors it for the month. So Team Arcadia sponsored it for the month of August. And I was able to go over last Tuesday and participate in a really all-age community fun time in a great space that's welcoming for all ages. Plus, I won one of Linda's homemade breads. It's the jalapeno cheddar. Ooh, so good.
That is awesome. Sherry, you are so incredible. You're so humble in the work that you do. You have always been so involved in community, all the way in Manatee County with our libraries, to now a county you don't even live in, yet you're falling in love with and connecting so much with the residents. I can't thank you enough for the work that you do.
I love this work. I love the DeSoto Arcadia communities, and they think I should move there.
You might have to think about that. I don't want you going too far from us, but that might be something you need to think about.
It's a fun. It's so fun. I shouldn't enjoy it so much.
You are allowed to enjoy it. I think you should do things that bring you joy, and that's great that this is one of those things.
I'm just going to ramble on a couple other things.
Let's go.
So Marla and I drove over for a ministry coalition event. And so we were chatting a lot about things, and I was, of course, chatting about my paper route. And she goes, you really have ownership of that. Mm-hmm. And I go, I do, and I really don't want anyone else to do it.
Yeah.
I just so enjoy, first of all, a little bit of countryside ride to get there, which you can collect your thoughts and think about what you'd like to accomplish during this distribution time. Mm-hmm. I never know who I might actually see on any given day, and sometimes I spend an hour with someone just talking about things, or they take me downtown to show what's happening downtown. And so there we go.
Keep going. It's that connective tissue piece. That's what I hear. TPF, we often talk about connective tissue and how, we're webbed together. We also talk about that spread, the spread. What's the word I'm looking for? Your catalytic
ripples.
The ripple effect, that
Yes.
spread. And that's what I'm seeing here. I know that's a small town. We've had multiple guests come on here and tell us it's a small town. If your child acts up, before they get home that your child was acting up. And so I hear you saying you're building these relationships. You have Jessica at Goodwill. Well, she's talking to other people in that county about you. So then you're being welcomed into their organization, or I would assume soon you're going to be invited to dinners, invited to more than bingo.
I indeed have been invited to stay with someone if we have multiple events in a row.
Oh, great.
In Arcadia.
Well, we have our big event coming up.
Indeed we do.
It is a late night event, so you might need to take up that resource.
It might happen. Another new distribution point.
Tell me,
All
who
right.
is your new distribution site?
So, of course, Jennifer Bowser has been so active and involved in all of this work, these aspirations in DeSoto County. And at last, sometimes it takes a bit, we are also in their Restore. Our newsletter is there in downtown Arcadia. Very welcoming. Sean and Beth are both there. And I just loved, I dropped it off, the newsletter off last Tuesday, actually, because I did have to have a second run over there to accomplish everything. And Sean and Beth were not there, but the lady behind the counter, I put them down and said, these, Sean and Beth know where to put these. And then I saw her quietly thumbing through the newsletter. Curiosity, I don't think she had seen it before. So it's just fun to watch things from afar.
You're watching the ripple effect take place.
Yes,
that
ma'am.
others might not see who are behind the scenes. So that's very important to share.
There is so much good change, ripples happening, and I think the work of TPF has helped escalate all of that.
Yeah, when you brought up Jennifer Bowser, I almost cut in to say, when you say she's involved in doing work, she went through the course to become a public innovator with the Harwood Institute. She is a Harwood catalytic guide through the Harwood Institute. She is the leader of one of our 4 action teams. Specifically, it is for housing. She does work with Habitat, and she is a leader in her community. When you walk into DeSoto, people know her. They know she's out here trying to do what's best for her community, and she's amazing. She's a rock star. She's a rock star. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Any other distribution sites that stick out that you'd like to talk about before we go today?
Arcadia Housing, which we do leave newsletters in their little library outside of the office as well as inside the office. Anita is the office person there, and one time I'm coming to drop the newsletter. She was in a golf cart heading somewhere, and she just yelled, "Go on in, leave them wherever you need."
Great.
Again, I just feel there's a lot of trust in both the Patterson Foundation name, and now they recognize my face and know that I'll be back.
Oh, great. We do need to create some type of map to show where you go or even where your distribution sites are, like a visual. I think that would be really, really beneficial for people to see.
I do know in the electronic version of the newsletter, each of these distribution points will have a point to click, and you can go to their website.
Great.
Yes.
Oh, great. That's another way, that ripple effect. Let's connect others with these organizations that are doing good work and good things in DeSoto County.
Yes.
All right, Sherry, I hate to end any conversation with you. I could talk to you all day long, but I want to tell you, thank you so much for joining me here today. It's an absolute pleasure having you here, learning about how you are working to strengthen DeSoto County with your work and your paper route. I just cannot get over the time and effort you put in and the joy it brings you when you come back and report back to all of us. It's so special. Thank you so much for what you do.
Thank you. I'm glad to get to share.
Listeners, to subscribe to our monthly DeSoto Digest newsletter, where we share those monthly podcasts and news from DeSoto County residents, scan the QR code on your screen. And if you're interested in having the DeSoto Digest delivered to your organization, please contact Sherry. We will go ahead and list on our screen her email here. And to learn more about how the Patterson Foundation is strengthening efforts to collectively create a stronger, more resilient community, visit DeSotoCountyAhead.net or thepattersonfoundation.org. Tune in next time for more from Discover DeSoto. Bye-bye.
Together, we can create a DeSoto where opportunity, pride, and connection thrive.